7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Is she satisfied or dissatisfied? She is just a customer, just like everyone else. Like always, giving it to you raw and unedited. Over to you, the short one.
What a week. This is going to be probably the shortest podcast. I don't know, but sometimes I can fly off the handle, end up being longer than last week's one. Okay. So what has happened in the past week? Nada. Nout. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Let's just say the short one has been hibernating. Because I was too scared to go out. First of all, is it the beast from the east and Storm Emma, Tornado Emma, I don't know, whatever. Too much weather changes were happening in such a short space of time. And I think it was the fact that we're given two different names that I was just like, oh my gosh, this is Armageddon. This is the, I've forgotten the word. Oh, it was going to be so good. Would have been a nice flow as well. Something to do with the Bible right at the end. Okay, whatever. I can't remember. I cannot remember. But, yes, so let's just say I was hibernating. I was channeling my inner Yogi Bear. And I was hibernating and hiding and thinking, oh my gosh, thank goodness I've got enough supplies. Because for some reason, something made me beforehand to be like, just get your supplies now. You just get it over and done with. And it wasn't because of the weather, because, you know, in this country, British weather, you can have 4 seasons all in one day, all in 1 hour. So it wasn't, you know, whatever. I just kept thinking, oh, I bet it won't snow. And the first day it snowed, well, snowed everywhere else except St Albans. On Facebook, people putting pictures up of, like, literally a blanket of snow, like making snowballs and stuff, and people were showing pictures of their kids on the well, that thing, you know, when you whatever. And you can tell I'm not in the mood today. And I looked out the window. There was nothing at all. No snowflakes, no nothing. The ground was clear, everything. And I kept thinking, where the hell am I? Where did I choose to live? But I was thankful because I hate snow. And the reason why I hate snow is because firstly, I don't know how to walk in snow because you have to change your style of walking. And because you're more like stumping your feet. You don't just walk with swagger, you know, like walk like you're doing a theme tune of Saturday Night Fever. You have to change your walk. And so there's that. And then also the fact that, you know, let's just say one does not fall gracefully. Considering I'm a lady, I don't know how to fall. I just drop. So I hate that snow stuff because then it turns into sludge. And then it's icy. I don't know, whatever. So I decided to hibernate. But I did go out twice, I must admit. I think it took about the second day for it to snow up here, for me to see snow. And it was what my sister described as, oh my gosh, you got struggling snow. And I said, well, you know, we're trying in St. Albans, we're trying. But it was a bit slippery, but one did not fall. I managed to sort of walk with, you know, a bit of balance. And I was so frightened to fall. Not because I'd hurt myself or, anything like that. It's just the fact that I thought, if I fall in someone's recording, that shit's going to go viral because I don't fall gracefully. That's the thing. That's the annoying thing. So, yeah. But when I went out, I went to the usual Tesco. But for some reason, it was empty. Absolutely empty. It was as if they were trying to be like Morrison's. It was empty. So it was an okay experience. I wouldn't say it was perfect. I can't note any sort of flaws, but I find it hard to say, oh my gosh, Tesco Metros are perfect. But yes, I got, little bits and bobs and, shuffled literally along on the pavements and stuff. It's just thinking, please don't fall. And I was really concentrating on the floor, concentrating on my boots, but it was all good. Streets were empty, so I guess people were just like, oh, a little bit of snow, that's it, I'm not going out. But yeah, but very sludgy though, very sludgy. I thought, you know what, adding to my fear of falling, like if I fell in this sludge, because it was like brown, and to me I was just thinking, gosh, that snow mixed up with shit, vomit, piss, spit, everything, like I can't handle uncleanliness like that. I always think of things like that. That's why I can't even hold on to the escalator rails, because to me I just think that, oh, can you imagine like all the germs on this? Thank goodness telephone boxes aren't, the thing. Because, oh, gosh, surprised I still got ears left. Telephone boxes, they were so dirty, and you were lucky to find one that didn't smell of piss, but, yeah. But telephone boxes, that was really cool back in the day, when you had to, like, hover, like, you put the 10p just a little bit in, and then you're waiting for the person to pick up, and then it goes, do, and then you had to put the 10p in. And then it was, remember, like reverse calling, like my parents and stuff, like calling up 100 and saying, oh, I'd like to make a reverse charge call. And then it'd be like, if their phone will ring, be like, hello, hi, this is the operator. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, hi, mom, hi, dad. And they're like, yeah, keep it quick. But anyway, enough of that, enough of the nostalgia. So yeah, second time I went out, lucky enough, that was after the snow had melted. But then apparently people were saying, oh, the icy bit's going to come. So it's quite funny because when I step out my door, I have to test it first. If you ever see me come out my door, it is quite funny. I'm assuming that it's funny to watch because I put one foot on the pavement and I tap it with my toes, like the toe part of my shoe. I go tap, 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 a little scratch, as if you're stroking, just to see if it's icy, because the most embarrassing thing is to step out and then it's like an icy patch and then boof. That's how I fall. That's a sound effect of me falling, is boof. So not much on the customer experience front. Wednesday when I did go out, that was the second day I went out. I did try to go to get some chicken from the butcher's, and I left my place really late in the day. So I saw him and I thought, oh, brilliant, he's there, good. I could from far I could see there was chicken. There was chicken there, so I was like, great, okay, let me just go in, buy bits and bobs, and take it from there. So I thought, let me go and get fruit and veg. So market on Wednesday. Where the hell was the fruit and veg stalls? None of them came. Like, most of the stalls were empty. Like, no one turned up. And I remember thinking, first of all, I was like, is it Wednesday? Because sometimes the high street on different days, they'll do something. So I thought, is it Wednesday, Saturday? What day is it? What am I saying is Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? No, I'm talking about Saturday here, by the way, not Wednesday. I think it's a Saturday. Like, I thought, yeah, it's Saturday. And literally, fruit and vegetables were not there. The day I wanted to get some fruit, not so much the veg, but the fruit, nothing. I was like, oh. So I did a little pirouette, headed for the butcher's, and the chicken's gone. So shout out to the person that bought that last batch of chicken. You better have enjoyed it, because I was left empty-handed and chickenless. So shout out to you. So I don't normally talk about things that I watch in depth, but I've only this podcast is going to be so short. I did watch a police documentary thing, 24-hour custody, and cut a long story short, man visits prostitute, someone blackmails him, blah, 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 fast forward, it ends up being a copper. But anyway, so it is customer related because the prostitute was involved, so there's a financial transaction involved, so technically we're still sticking to the theme of the purpose of the podcast. But it's not so much documentary that was like I want to talk about, it's the fact that the guy, okay, it all happened in Luton, Bedfordshire, and they showed, because the trial was done at St Albans courts, and I remember seeing on the thing, I was like, I've seen that court before. I was like, where is that? I was like, shit, it's St Albans. And then a panic went through me, because I kept thinking, you know what? My mum has always said, when you step out the house, make sure you look amazing. Make sure you're dressed up. Make sure you always look good, you know. But sometimes, you know, as you get older, sometimes you think, fuck it. Like, oh, I'm having a bad hair day. Fuck it, I'm only going to get bread. You know, I'm not matching, you know. Don't matter. I'm only going to get almond milk, you know. I'm wearing different socks, one long, one short. Doesn't matter. I'm just literally just, you know, going to get some chips or something. So sometimes you think, you know, it's not important. But watching that, I thought, ooh, it is important, because camera crew could be anywhere, anytime. And considering that episode of 24-hour custody was, I think it was like a big one, because on Google, it was the Google results. It was like talked about and spoken about and mentioned about a lot. And I kept thinking, shit, you know, damn. But when I saw the courts, I was literally like, my eyes just popped. And I was just watching in detail, like, would I be seen walking past? Because sometimes I have seen in St Albans and around, you know, even in London, like camera crews. But I've always looked fly, so I've been all right, you know, always looked fly, always looked good. But something about St Albans, it's like, when you, especially, you know, if you're living in the town centre, it's like, oh, how many times do I say like? It's annoying when I hear myself say it. But yeah, so sometimes you just think, you take your distance for granted, basically. So it's, I'm tempted to put a like in there. So it's, you know, if you're going to just a 2-second walk to the supermarket, do I really need to look all out fly? No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You know, just like when I lived near Brent Cross, you could always tell out-of-towners because everyone looked glammed up. You could always tell the local people because we just didn't give a shit. We just didn't give a shit. Like, just didn't give a shit. But, yeah, so I'm going to have to start looking good. Oh, pressure. I don't need so much pressure. And what am I supposed to talk about? Okay, well, I think let's just take a break. So don't forget to look at www.iamjustacustomer.com, Facebook at I Am Just a Customer, also on Twitter at I'm Just a Customer. So not I am, I'm without the apostrophe, because apostrophes don't work. And soon enough, I'll be doing Instagram as well. So, well, I'm doing Instagram, but it's just that I have to remember that I've got Instagram. So it's very kind of bare. I think there's only 3 pictures up there or something, but it's very bare. But yeah. So hopefully next week I'll have a lot more meat to the bone. But I can say that from a customer point of view, if the weather's shit, that's the time to go out shopping. If you want to have a good experience, if you want to have a store all to yourself, or, you know, or share it with a couple of people, absolutely, you know. But when the weather's shit, don't rely on the market, especially fruit and veg stores, because I don't know what the hell that was about. I mean, I did think to myself, should I go to Tesco and go and get it? But I was like, I can't bother to go way back there again, you know. Because I don't know. I guess this is where it's hashtag FML, isn't it? But yeah, so I apologise for the short, boring podcast. I guess this is boring podcast number 2. But hopefully next week there'll be something for me to talk about in depth, in full. And yeah. So to all the mothers out there, hope you have a happy Mother's Day on Sunday. And also the single fathers as well. We've got to remember them. They're like mothers and fathers at the same time. But yeah, so don't forget Facebook at I'm Just a Customer. Twitter, I'm Just a Customer. And website at www.imjustacustomer.com. And then also, if you can be bothered, because the link's not on the website, Instagram's there, but don't worry, it's really boring. Really, really, really boring. As boring as I just said, really boring. That was boring the way I said it. It's really boring. There was a horror film. I can't remember what it was. I remember it was like, I remember thinking, that noise anyone can make. But I remember it was quite a good horror film. Because it was a scene of there's 2 ways you can say this word. I don't know which one's right. Photographer or photographer. Photographer or photographer. Yeah. There's 2 ways I've heard that word. It's like Tanzania and Tanzania. You can always tell it's African because they always say Tanzania. But yeah, so this photographer, this cameraman was clicking his camera. Like click, 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 click in the dark. So the flashes was what you kind of saw. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to scream. And on that note, I'm out of here. Love, peace, and fucking hair grease.